And there's huge potential, I think, for the new Mayor of Greater Manchester to be someone with a high national profile, going out to bat for Greater Manchester when it comes to public investment, when it comes to private sector investment, when it comes to just the national conversation about what's happening in the UK, what's happening in local areas.
It's not just about what she or he does, but it's how they go about doing it. There is an opportunity to engage with citizens, business and other groups in a wholly new and fresh manner. This should not and must not be business as usual, but a new way of doing things. In those critical first 100 days, the Mayor must clearly set out how they will do the job, as well as clearly articulating the added value of the office over and above what already exists. At the moment we have devolution of only part of the skills system. Ladies and gentlemen, you can try and reform the FE system until the cows come home, but if you don't have, most of the budget they spend there is spent on putting right what comes out of the schools at the moment. We have no power over that at the moment. We have a nationalised system for schools and a nationalised system for apprenticeships, so there is a big disconnect there as well.
The powers and budgets devolved to the Mayor are tightly drawn, so the primary duty will be to deliver on strategy on those areas: transport, housing, employment, business support, and it'll be critical to use local knowledge and networks to target investment well to stimulate economic growth. But I would suggest that transport is a key issue to get right. It's so very visible, and it is, as Clive said, essential that people can travel to access the opportunities of employment, training opportunities, from the places that they're able to find housing, and to be able to access that easily and within budget. My third priority is to really pay attention to the democratic development of the Mayor's role, to make sure that decision making is transparent, that there are strong scrutiny and checks and balances, that there are opportunities for all citizens to have a say, and that decision making reflects the diversity of the Greater Manchester electorate.
I think this is our opportunity. Howard and Richard, Peter Smith and others have put Greater Manchester in a leadership position. So the new Mayor is very lucky because they inherit that leadership position. So the challenge is how then to make the most of it and make sure that Greater Manchester stays there. And my take on that is we now should pioneer a new way of doing politics. The first thing the Mayor should do in those 100 days is announce that we're going to have a new relationship with the voluntary and the private sector across Greater Manchester. With the voluntary sector particularly, let's take one of those policy objectives, ending homelessness. The new Mayor should say, let's set that together as our goal across Greater Manchester and issue an open invitation to any voluntary sector organisation, any church-based organisation, any charity, any individual who wants to be a part of making that come true. That, it seems to me, is what the Mayor needs to do in those early days: signal a very different and a new way of doing things. Develop a new form of participative democracy, a Greater Manchester model, a different way of doing things that is not about politicians in rooms, but is about building those social movements behind all of the policy objectives that I've mentioned.
My experience from talking to other city mayors is one of the advantages of a mayor is because they want to go, they need your votes, they do go out and talk to people in innovative ways, they reach out to communities, and I think we'll see that. And I think we have the opportunity to have a People's Parliament here in Greater Manchester to allow those kind of conversations to happen and lead the way for other areas that are devolving powers.
Alexandra mentioned the other mayors that are coming through next year. Clearly there's an opportunity there to create a cabinet of the North, where all of those people come together around a table and then speak with one voice to government. And I believe any government would struggle, of any colour, they couldn't ignore that voice of all of those individuals speaking for these great cities. And that's where it gets exciting, isn't it? And that is where you can really change the London-centric nature of our country and rebalance infrastructure investment.